Yeah, this is Dave from CheapBooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a T-28 prototype. It's an American Tier 8 tank destroyer, and the map is Prokhorovka. This is an encounter battle. If you watch my games, you'll know that I almost always go to the encounter cap area immediately. I especially love doing it on this map. And the reason why I love doing it on this map is because it's a good central location, so you can hit the enemy targets that are up on the hill. You can get the enemy tanks that are trying to snipe the cap. And I also like the fact that you can hunt down the enemy on the cap. You'll notice that early in the game we spotted a lot of enemy tanks on their way to wherever they're going. This is not the strongest tank to be sitting on the cap with, but I do it anyway. So here's the advantages and disadvantages. Advantage has a really strong gun. So when I decide I want to hunt down tanks that are on the cap, it's easy for me to win. Number two, when you sit on the cap, it puts the enemy into suicide mode. They will do whatever it takes to try and reset the cap, sometimes putting themselves into vulnerable positions. And if they do it one at a time and your team is backing you up, you're just going to kill them one by one as they head for the cap. So that's why I do it. This is actually somewhat of a dangerous position right here. I'm a very slow tank, and I'm surprised that I made it to the cap before the enemy.
That one didn't go through.
He is... Okay, so I seem to recall I'm going to get spotted often. Like I said, it's dangerous over here. And the artillery already knows that they're going to shoot over here.
Ready to fire. Target unlocked. Our main gun is damaged. It's working, but not very well.
Now keep in mind that sometimes I hit the... Sometimes I hit the auto aim by mistake. And when people say, you know, don't cap early, I just ignore them. They're just a bunch of idiots.
Target acquired. We didn't even scratch them.
When I used to do this on El Haluf in the good old days, they were the absolute most fun games I ever had. You could sit on the cap and nobody could shoot at you, and the enemy would have to dive in to try and kill you, and your allies would all be lined up on the edge, and we would win the games. So you can see here that I'm capturing the base. My philosophy is if the other team screws up, that's their loss. Sometimes I'll get off the cap. We're winning 5-2. I can't tell you the reason why yet. But they're letting me capture the base, so the enemy has a problem now. That J Panther, I don't think he ever makes it to the base. I think he kind of wants to be there, but I don't think he ever shows up. And now's the point where you really don't want to get off that base. You want to stay on as long as you can. So I got really good numbers right now. And I'm really pushing it. I'm right at the edge. And I do want to shoot at any tank that I can shoot at. So we're up to 57. Nobody's showed up to challenge me yet. I don't know if we're going to win by capping. I have no idea. The game is 4 minutes in. No challengers. Normally there's somebody that shows up quickly and I go hunt them down and kill them. But nothing. 7-3. Now the question is, do we have an advantage? Have we won because they're a little bit overly obsessed with the cap? I don't know. Now you see that the J Panther still has not shown up at the cap. Now he's starting to head. Now we've got some tanks coming in.
Target acquired.
Now what does that tell you? You've got 3 enemy tanks all of a sudden showing up at the cap at the same time. The score is 7-3. That should tell you that the enemy was giving up its positions, exposing themselves, perhaps even dying on the way here. It absolutely benefits the team to sit on the cap. I drew 3 enemy tanks plus the FV-201 withdrew down the hill. This absolutely works as a technique. I totally ruined it for the enemy team. The enemy team screwed up, and absolutely I deserve any capture points that I earned.
That one didn't go through.
Well, it's too bad that I didn't blow that guy out of the water.
Damaged.
Now, he did reset the cap, so the capping has to start all over again.
Enemy armor is damaged.
However, I succeeded at blowing their strategy away. He thinks he's a good player. Well, you're not.
Enemy
You
armor
suck.
is destroyed.
And AMX number 2, he probably sucks too.
Direct hit. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So that's 2 sucky players. Thought they were going to come in and rescue their team, but didn't. Look at the score, 14-3. It's only been 5 minutes and 20 seconds. It was just like 7-3. This is what happens when you sit on the cap. You absolutely screw up the entire enemy team's strategy. You pull them out of hiding. You expose their weaknesses. That's why you do it. When people say no fast cap, just don't listen to them. I've played games before where we sat on the cap, we won the game, and what happens is everybody gets like 100 experience. It's not worth a lot of experience to win by capping. But to use the strategy to win the game and to cause the enemy to do suicide runs, which is what happened, even though we didn't get a clear shot of it, gets you the 50% bonus. I killed 2 tanks, did a little bit of damage. Usually I do more damage doing this maneuver than in this game. But that's a strategy that you use. I absolutely support it. It's something that I would say is mandatory. Every time you play a game, make sure you've got an ally on the cap running the timer. And if there's no ally doing it, then you do it. I'm sure they're going to kill that SPG any moment now. The score is 15-3. It's an easy win. It took 5.5 minutes. Absolutely capping turned the tide for the team. There's no doubt about it. If you want to join my clan is CBKS. We also have a second clan, CBKS2, for the lower tier players, and an SPG only clan, which is CBSPG, or for people that like to play along with SPG players. And it's the SPG only means just people that like to play SPG more than everybody else, like 15% of the time. Excuse me. The tank was a T-28 prototype. It's a Tier 8 American tank destroyer. The map is Prokhorovka, also known as Fiery Salient in Encounter Mode. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. I'm sorry I don't have any information about how I ranked in the game. If it was number 1, I would have put it in the title. But this was probably, obviously I did in the top half for the team. Thank you.